Here's Brody Brazil.
Obviously, the baseball season came to a premature and unceremonious end for the Tampa Bay Rays a while back, but their stadium pursuits continue. You may recall about a month ago, they unveiled these plans. They were working with the city and county for public funding, and this is what they want to build in the next couple of years, right next to Tropicana Field, to replace it and become the new permanent home of the Tampa Bay Rays. The site has renderings, the site has a lot of details, and it comes with a bit of controversy because of the location. It's not that people don't want the Rays to stay in St. Pete, but maybe this specific spot, or even the alternative of going to Tampa where more people are, they don't have to cross a long bridge to get out to the Trop. They love the fact that the team will be hopefully staying. Maybe it's the location that the fans aren't exactly fond of. It's the gas plant site they're talking about here. And just to recap everything before we get into the developments, 86 public acres of this site right now would include the new ballpark. They said 5,700 housing units, 1.4 million square feet of office space, 300,000 square feet of retail, 700 hotel rooms, 600 senior living units, a separate 2,500 seat venue, and 14 acres of open space. As for the ballpark, around 30,000 seats, around a $1.2 billion price tag. It's going to be a fixed dome roof, nothing retractable. Just the climate and the conditions won't allow it. So artificial turf, yes. The city of St. Pete and Pinellas County, they're on the hook for apparently about $700 million in paying for this. The team says they're paying for half or more. So you do the math, that 1.2 might be closer to 1.3 or 4. You'll see as we go on here. The Rays are talking to investors on how to raise money. They're talking about $600 million or more that they can raise to basically sell shares of the team to just get more capital, more liquid money right now that they can apply to this project. So they're going about this a little bit differently than the Oakland A's are, not only trying to stay where they're at, building next to their current stadium, but also the fact that they maybe need some financial help. They're taking that in order to make this happen. They're also asking for a lot more from both the city and county. And on that note, they've got to get to the county, Pinellas County, after the city, but the city here is up first. They need 2 votes. And so I'll pick up the coverage here from the NBC television affiliate in Tampa, WFLA. It's been 1 month since the Tampa Bay Rays announced plans for a new stadium to replace Tropicana Field. On Thursday, team leaders and developers worked to get St. Petersburg City Council on base with their idea. Council members are now crunching the numbers to see if it can meet the hefty request to spend $287 million to help pay for the now $1.3 billion stadium. The project also comes with a plan to redevelop the surrounding area and make good on a promise the city made to residents 40 years ago, but some worry that the decades of disappointment will continue. Quote, financially, I want to make sure that by making this investment, it doesn't force us to put off some of our other needed improvements in the city, councilmember Gina Driscoll said. Real quick, I think that's a responsible comment to make, and I think that's instantly calling this out. It's also political speak. Gina Driscoll might be voting for this project, but at least pointing out concern about it initially here. But this next quote goes a little bit further. Quote, the commitment to affordable housing is inadequate in this deal, Councilmember Richie Floyd said. Quote, there is a minimum of only 200 affordable units on site, and we're talking over 4,000 units in this project. It's a once-in-a-generation redevelopment with only 200 units on site. That's very concerning for me. Now, I'm not quick on the math, but I can do the percentages there. When the Oakland A's were talking about affordable housing with their big project at Howard Terminal, it was anywhere from 15 to 20 to 25% affordable housing, somewhere in that realm. There are state minimums. The city of Oakland was pushing for more, and that's exactly what political leaders are going to do. But this becomes the challenge when you're trying to build a stadium and a housing development and commercial properties. The stadium itself could be a lot easier if it were just the stadium. But when it involves everything else, there become these back and forths that can sometimes pause, stall, delay, or cancel a project. So keep an eye on this. Affordable housing was very much an issue with the A's in Oakland. And everybody thought, Tampa was close behind the A's and trying to get their stadium situation figured out. If this is a true sticking point, this has the ability to derail an entire project, if there's more than one who feels this way. We'll switch over to Bay News 9 from Tampa and their coverage. There's been a lot of excitement at City Hall over the new Tampa Bay Rays stadium plans. But the city and county have not set dates yet to even vote on the agreement, and that's needed before construction can begin. By the way, as they met with the city of St. Pete the other day, I saw this on a slide from a photo of the actual meeting. St. Pete is asking the Rays and Major League Baseball for one day to have a St. Pete Day and to have St. Pete across the front of the jerseys. Just for one day. They're obviously known as the Tampa Bay Rays, Tampa St. Pete. But it's interesting that St. Pete really values that and is asking for that as part of this. But I digress. So yeah, the city and county don't have dates to even vote on this yet. And they need an agreement before, obviously, construction can begin. And as you'll find out here, they need construction to begin pretty soon, like within the next 12 months. On Thursday, city officials went through a 113-page presentation designed to give council members more details about the new stadium and redevelopment plan, including price tags and breakdowns of how money is being distributed across different aspects of the plan. I have to say, in terms of the A's in Las Vegas, this seems more detailed than what we know about that project right now. Costs for the ballpark would be $1.3 billion, with the team contribution expected to be about $700 million, and the city and county paying the rest. Well, that was flip-flopped for me because I thought it was the city and county with a fixed amount and the team would pay the rest. This article is kind of suggesting the reverse. That's why sometimes this stuff is confusing. Quote, the land is valued at something and it's given to the Rays. The ad valorem that's lost for 30 years is also something the city's giving up and is giving to the Rays. That's nowhere in this presentation, District 4 Councilmember Lisette Hanowitz said at Thursday's meeting. So there's somebody else who dissents a little bit to what's going on here. And remember, these are voters, right? City council, these are city council voters. And so they are objecting a little bit to affordable housing, in this case, land value, sale price, benefits. And here we go with the time crunch. Meanwhile, time is of the essence. The Rays' contract at Tropicana Field runs through the 2027 season. In order for the team to be in the new ballpark for opening day 2028, work on the planning, designing, and implementation of infrastructure needs to begin soon in order for construction to begin by November of 2024. And that's interesting because the A's are also trying to get in by opening day 2028. They're not saying that construction in Las Vegas, which also includes demolition of the Tropicana Hotel and that 35-acre site, the A's say they don't even need to begin until April of 25. This project would need to get underway by November of 24, which doesn't seem impossible, but obviously things need to happen pretty quickly. And that's the point I was making here, is that you have the A's and Rays both now kind of aligned for 2028. At least that is their intentions. It also offers up Major League Baseball the idea of, okay, maybe expansion could be on the table by 2028. If the A's and Rays are settled somehow, somewhere, some way, maybe in 2025, you could announce expansion to 2 other Major League markets. So it's interesting, and I don't say this with any pleasure, that the Rays stadium pitch has seemed to draw a little bit of controversy, conversation, confusion, contention. A lot of words there, but it's not going as smooth and as swimmingly. It was announced about a month ago, late September, oh, the Rays have a stadium deal. No, the Rays have a stadium announcement, and we'll see if everybody agrees to the deal. You made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.